Hi, I'm Marcus, and you're listening to Business Spirit. I run a six-figure mentoring business, and I'm scaling it to 1 million, without ads or cold DMs or any other bullshit. On this podcast, I share my everyday life, the behind the scenes, my identity shifts, my energy, manifestation, and all the other stuff no one really wants to talk about. So glad that you're here, so let's go. Welcome to your most favorite podcast, The Business Spirit. So, you might wonder yourself, or might be wondering, okay, what kind of area this is, or where am I actually recording this podcast? I'm right now sitting here on the beautiful island of Rhodes, and in the patio of the apartment which we rented in the medieval Old Town city. So, if we want to start with a win of this week, this would actually be the win of the week because we had fabulous, only 10 days actually here on Rhodes, and tomorrow we will dash off again back to Germany. But these were so nice, beautiful, and intense days here, and you might see this. The tone of my skin. I wasn't lying at the beach all day long. We were driving with a quad all day long. My wife, our son, as well as his wife, we were all here in Rhodes. They were staying at a different location. So, because of course, you don't want to, our son, of course, and our daughter just don't want to be all the time with the parents. That's for sure. We did really have nice days together. See places. But tonight, we packed everything up tomorrow with fly back. So after I've finished recording this podcast session, I will go and meet my wife. She already went to the Old Town. We are, in the middle of the Old Town, so she's only, 150 meters away. So that's nice. But this is not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is really what's going on right now. And I've just created a story on Instagram, which by the time you hear the podcast might have already been gone. But these days were really intense here in Rhodes. Because internally, I'm about to make a completely new shift. Completely new shift. That I'm about to change my business again. Not dramatically. I will not stop doing the coaching. I'm definitely not. So, but the way I approach, the way I show up, and also the way I'm running the business. The strategy. That works fine, and also the mindset part works fine. But I always have this impression that there's something missing, that I'm still hiding things behind, or overdoing certain pieces. And so there's a lot of things going on. And the first time I realized that I need to change something was actually right now, I think 2 months ago. You might have seen my speech on the stage at the Weinstein Festival, though it is in German. Have a look at it. I will also post a link below this podcast episode, because you will feel the emotion, you feel the presence being on stage, and especially when I tell you the story behind that speech. You see, that Mindstyle Festival in Vienna, there were 3 days. The first day was about business, the second day about health, and the third day was about mindset. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really sure on whether I really should show up there and give a speech. So up to the very last minute, I still wasn't sure on whether I should really go there. For reasons, I'm not sure whether you can hear this, but there's a plane now above here. But for a very good reason. But I'm not going to touch that right now here. But because I didn't really prepare the speech, I went there without having a speech tool. So I decided to, okay, what if I go on stage without having prepared it and just enjoying myself, just be present, just talk about what I'm just feeling in that moment. And that was in the afternoon slot. I think it was at 2:30 or something. So I had the whole morning really to grasp the speeches from all the other people. I mean, there were professional speakers there. There were people, I mean, who's just been there the first time on the stage. Nonetheless, I mean, everybody was in this kind of vibe to transform their lives and also to support others in really seeing and supporting and helping to transform lives as well as business. And I just didn't want to repeat everything what was already said. And therefore, I was really, really thankful that me personally didn't prepare a speech. So, yeah, I went there on the stage. Well, just wanting to talk. And I had the impression, or had the imagination that I just wanted to say on the stage. I wanted to enjoy myself. I wanted to give the talk, which is deep, and also make an impact to the customers, not my customers, to the audience, but just out of the situation. And this is what I did. And I was to um, to my surprise, I was not nervous at all. I mean, not even 10 seconds before me going on stage. Because after all, I mean, I had sort of 30 minutes I didn't prepare it. So that was the first bit. And I might have talked about this speech already in the last podcast episode. So um, apologize for me repeating that stuff. But that was really intense. And the second bit is that I had a client, or I have a client actually. She's still in a one-on-one engagement. She's absolutely great. And she wanted to grow and scale her business. And she approached me because she knew that I look a little bit different on strategy and a little bit different at marketing, a little bit different at sales, as I'm coming also from that from the space of opportunities, mindset, identity, and that I'm using strategy as a very crucial component also in my business, but as a tool set. So I first decide, okay, who do I want to be and what feels right for me? So that I imagine myself and how I want to run the business, and I'm then backwards developing the strategy which matches that. But strategy is still an important bit. Because after all, I mean, we are not just spiritual coaches, and we can't just sit there and meditate all day long, and money is flowing out of the sky. So you need to have a strategy behind it. That's for sure. So and she was at the point where she has done, and strategy wise, I mean, there was nothing really to tweak. Yes, of course, you could optimize the things. Of course, you could, fine tune things. But really, to come up with a completely new strategy to grow her business, I mean, that wasn't an option. Because every time she tried something, she said, yeah, I didn't feel it. Well, it was right. Well, I don't know what to do. Well, tell me what to do. And I played that game uh, for quite some time. And I was asking her and tricking her into, okay, what is it really? What kind of strategy do you want to do? And how does it feel? And then, okay, how do you see yourself in the future? And what kind of strategy is your future self now implementing in the business? Is the way you want to operate right now matching the way you want to operate your business in the future? And she already said, no, this isn't the case. And I said, okay, why do you want to have that the strategy? And she said then, yeah, because I need to know what to do next. And I said, okay, but bring yourself into the position of your future self. I mean, the one in 1, 2, 3, or 5 years who has reached already in the business as well as in life what she wants to achieve. how is she looking into strategy? And she said, yeah, I don't know. I said, yes, exactly. You don't know how she thinks about strategy. But if you look into the way she's operating, do you think that she wants to plan everything ahead? And she said, no. Yeah, why not? Yeah, because she trusts herself. See? And that was the turning point when she realized that, I mean, she was so deep into strategies, so deep into frameworks, because she needed to map out the milestone plan. She needed to map out what is really achievable. And that was a mixture in her head which she couldn't grasp, because her vision was really great and is great. I mean, she wants to not only have a local business here in Germany, but a worldwide business. So she really needs to think big, and her vision is big. And at the same time, she was trying to, well, do and achieve this by defining a strategy, by defining a really clear roadmap and say, okay, I need to achieve this by 6 months. Well, in 6 months' time. This in 12 months' time. This in 18 months' time. And this is not going to work, is it? Because you have the vision. Your vision is so big. And it's so big that you have no clue whatsoever how to reach that. And for a very good reason. Because if you would knew how to achieve that vision, then it wouldn't be a vision, then it would be just a goal, a smart goal, which is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. But it's not something which is really bringing you out of your comfort zone. Or turn it the other way around, like I've said it maybe times before. If you would know how to achieve your goals, or how you would achieve your vision, then tell me why you haven't achieved your vision yet. You can't, because you simply don't know how to achieve it, because you don't know what's coming up. So you need to step into full ownership. You need to trust yourself, and this by looking backwards at what you have achieved already, and see that whatever the universe was throwing at you, you found a way to overcome even the most dangerous or most critical or most frightening situation. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here. So you need to look back and understand that, yes, looking from the present, everything what you did might make sense for you, right? Because it has brought you where you are, right? And you could then also make some backwards milestone planning, or what were the turning points in your life, what were the turning points in your business, and did everything fit together? But if you then move backwards 1 year in time, or 2 years in time, or 3 years in time, would you have imagined how your life would unfold? Definitely not, right? So what brings you to the idea that now, from the current point of view, you would be able to plan every step on your path towards your vision right now? It simply isn't possible. What you have to understand is that you have to trust yourself, that you are enough, that you do not need the security of a strategy, because the security will just hold you in your comfort zone. You need to trust yourself that whatever comes in your way, you will be capable of handling, and that everything is for you, not against you. Or just simply put, you are enough. And this doesn't mean that you don't have to look into a strategy, right? But you have to look into the strategy from that point of view. Okay, what, based on the current situation, what based on the current knowledge I have, would make sense to bring me one step further towards my vision? That's all what is needed. And on that way, and while implementing that one step, maybe two steps, you will realize that you will find more opportunities, that you will find more things you have to learn, more things you have to adapt, which will form itself as the next one or two steps. And this is what you have to trust in, that you are able to see those opportunities, that you are grasping, that you're able to grasp those opportunities, and that you also make decisions out of this feeling, out of this trusting yourself that you're good enough and that you're capable of adapting every little strategy aspect and bring it into a package which moves the needle forward. And this is exactly what we will be going through in Enough, but of course in a much more deeper sense. And Enough will be a free program brought to you first week of July on 4 occasions. Or it is a 4-day masterclass, and yes, it's for free, right? Because I want you to really step into that. And the funny thing is that, and this is what made this week here in Rhodes very special. This is what I also was talking about on the Instagram story yesterday, was that while preparing this Enough masterclass out of this conversation with that young lady, I realized that I myself have to do the next step, because everything what I was trying to do right now, I mean, quite well, felt almost boring. I mean, launching, getting customers, doing social media, and so forth. There was kind of, yeah, right, I know how it works, I know that it works, I know what to do, but really the excitement was missing. And at the same time, I of course do have big visions, and I of course want to build a $1 million business. But still, there was something misaligned, and this misalignment that was keeping me awake actually during this whole week. So I decided that Enough is not only something for you, but it's really something for me, and you will see a lot of changes coming up also on my channels here, on the podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, YouTube, the way I show up, the way I'm doing social media, and the way I'm presenting myself, because I decided to, well, also bring me out of my right now existing comfort zone, and again, bring me to something which excites me again. We're moving the next step. And that is, well, it's so exciting for me, because usually in the past, when I was about to do those steps, for instance, moving from the German business to the English business, that was quite frightening. That I was not really sure. I'm not, well, there was going up and downs, and I didn't take the decision, to be honest with you, to move from the German version or the German coaching to the English version for quite some time. It took me almost 6 months until I really made the cut and said, okay, I'm doing the business now. And there was for me also the learning curve that I could trust myself, that yes, I mean, it's not easy to switch language, to switch, I mean, the clients, and also to, well, also have all the technical issues involved in this as well, to change the business. But I know I can do this. And I did this in the past. I did this when I was a manager at a high-tech company. I did this when I was an interim manager, when I was a consultant, when I was a company builder, where I was a German coach, where I was now stepping into the international coaching. And now I know that I can do this. And it really excites me without scaring me. And I have a full packed schedule for the upcoming weeks. So I'm ready to buckle up. So you will see a lot of change. And if you're up for changing yourself, then check my channel, check my Instagram or Facebook, because there you will find the link to Enough. As I said, it's a free masterclass. Because if you feel the same way, that whatever you're doing right now, it doesn't really feel all right, that you need to make the next step, and need to, well, really feel yourself again in the business, and out of your internal strengths, you will grow your business, then let's do this together. I myself not sure where this is heading to be honest with you. And as all programs, I'm doing this not only for you, but also based on my experience. And this is what I'm sharing live with you. Until then, well, thanks for joining. Thanks for leaving a thumbs up. Thanks for sharing also this podcast. I will just now shut down my computer and I will dash off, put on some shoes and will catch my wife and we will spend a nice evening here in the Old Town of Rhodes. Until then, Kalispera, Kalinista. Yes.